Key items. Typical pitfalls and critical issues in equity investment contracts can include ambiguous or incomplete ownership terms, insufficient valuation and pricing mechanisms, lack of shareholder rights and protections, inadequate exit strategies, failure to address governance and management issues, unclear restrictions on transferability, inadequate consideration of minority shareholder rights, lack of dispute resolution mechanisms, inadequate disclosure of material information, non-compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. Ambiguous or incomplete ownership terms. Clear and unambiguous terms regarding the percentage of ownership, voting rights, and other rights associated with the equity investment are essential. Ambiguities or incomplete provisions in this regard can lead to disputes and disagreements among investors. Insufficient valuation and pricing mechanisms. The valuation of equity and the pricing of shares should be fair and transparent. Inadequate valuation methods or pricing mechanisms can result in disputes and disagreements regarding the value of the investment and the allocation of ownership rights. Lack of shareholder rights and protections. Equity investment contracts should include provisions that protect the rights and interests of shareholders. These may include rights to information, dividend distribution, participation in decision-making processes, and protection against dilution of ownership. Inadequate exit strategies. Equity investment contracts should address exit strategies for investors, such as provisions for the sale of shares, initial public offerings, IPOs, or other liquidity events. Failing to establish clear exit strategies can make it challenging for investors to realize their investments and may lead to conflicts regarding the timing and terms of exit. Failure to address governance and management issues. Equity investment contracts should address governance and management matters, including board representation, decision-making processes, and management rights and responsibilities. Neglecting to define these provisions can result in disputes and challenges in managing the investment. Unclear restrictions on transferability. Equity investment contracts should clearly outline any restrictions on the transferability of shares, including preemptive rights, lockup periods, or limitations on transferring shares to third parties. Failure to address transferability restrictions can create uncertainties and potential conflicts when shareholders seek to sell or transfer their shares. Inadequate consideration of minority shareholder rights. If the equity investment results in minority shareholders, the contract should include provisions that protect their rights and prevent any oppression or unfair treatment by majority shareholders. Failure to address minority shareholder rights can leave them vulnerable and expose the investment to legal risks. Lack of dispute resolution mechanisms. Equity investment contracts should include effective dispute resolution mechanisms, such as arbitration or mediation clauses. Failure to establish proper dispute resolution mechanisms can result in costly and time-consuming legal battles among shareholders. Inadequate disclosure of material information. Equity investment contracts should require the disclosure of material information by the company seeking investment. Failing to provide accurate and complete information can lead to misinformed investment decisions and potential legal consequences. Non-compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. Equity investment contracts should comply with applicable laws, regulations, and industry-specific requirements. Failure to address legal and regulatory compliance can result in legal liabilities, penalties, or the invalidation of the contract. It's important to note that the specific pitfalls and critical issues in equity investment contracts can vary depending on the nature of the investment, the jurisdiction, and the specific terms and conditions of the contract. Seeking professional advice from legal, financial, and investment experts is crucial to navigate these complexities and ensure that equity investment contracts adequately protect the rights and interests of all parties involved.